You see that right there? Now that's what I call pure authenticity for this movie that I'm about to review. For the past 3 of 4 years, and soon it will be 4 of 5 coming up on later this summer, I have attended San Diego Comic-Con. It is that one pop cultural phenomenon event that comes around every year where there are thousands of other people like me that flock on this little pilgrimage in order to be infused with the spectacle and eye candy that Comic-Con delivers on, whether it's the comic books, movies, television shows, graphic novels, and so much more. And for a while, not only me, but tons of us have been waiting for that one time in which a filmmaker out there ends up taking on the event and end up displaying it through the eyes of several different attendees who give their own certain viewpoints on what the event means to them, but also to give insight on the evolution of the event itself, on how many more different entertainment subjects have been infused into the event over the years as well. So Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope, is directed by Morgan Spurlock, who's one of my absolute favorite documentary filmmakers, but this one's a very huge step forward for him because he's not in front of or voicing over any of the scenes throughout the movie, in which he's just behind the camera while it gives everyone else to have their own time to shine, and it follows several of these attendees during the 2010 San Diego Comic-Con, which I was there for the Thursday and Friday of. I wish I was there for the Saturday though, which was the big Marvel day of course. But moving on, it focuses on these two amateur artists, the couple that's attending there with the boyfriend that's planning to propose to her at Kevin Smith's panel. There's the costume designer, the comic book store owner, and several others that we follow throughout the movie, but also it's sparse together with a lot of celebrity interviews that give their insight and hype built around the event, and even life stories that they've shared from their past attending there. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is the purest love letter to all the fanboys, nerds, movie fans, and everything else across the nation. This is the movie that they have been waiting for, including me, and it completely delivers on all of that because this film, Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope, is such an immensely entertaining experience, and one that's definitely going to go down as one of my favorite and most personal documentaries of the year. The series of the several vignettes that are cut together in between the celebrity interviews are so relatable in the subjects that they touch upon, but the one that I really loved the most was the comic book store owner of Mile High Comics, which I like to bring up a fun fact in that I shopped at that booth 2 years beforehand, and let me tell you, that has one of the biggest comic book outlets that I've seen, and I'm telling you, I will be shopping there again this year for sure. But to hear the man's insight on the event is what really speaks the truth about the event today, because he says that the comic book is a dying breed within Comic-Con, even though that's what started the event in the first place almost 40 years ago, and he's really longing for the time in which comic books do make that resurgence, but he's even come to the conclusion at times throughout the movie that he expresses that that time is almost gone, and we only have those few people left that really flock to this event to buy those prestigious comic books that they want to add to their collection. That is also one of the most debated topics that go around both in this movie and in Comic-Con in general, because the comic books are dying out. While it is great to see all different forms of entertainment sparse throughout the event, whether it deals with the next biggest movies, TV shows, graphic novels, video games, and so much more, it's always great to get that nostalgia out of comic book reading, and that's also shared in between a lot of the celebrity interviews, which I must add are phenomenal, by the way. If you are the definitive fanboy for certain celebrity figures, for all the nerds out there, then you're gonna love all the celebrities that get interviewed in this movie. Whether it's Seth Green, Seth Rogen, Joss Whedon, Harry Knowles, Stan, the Man Lee, and so many more people throughout, as they all give their insight onto the event. It is just very humorous, but extremely entertaining at what all of them have to say, because nearly all of them hype up the event in their own way with their improvised dialogues that they're given, but also for the fact is they all give their own interesting insight across the event. Especially I love Seth Green's in particular, because if you don't know, he met his wife at Comic-Con. Now that's a story right there. But back to Morgan Spurlock's direction is that he adds on his classic humanizing of the topic in particular, in which he strikes a very heartfelt chord with all of the nerds and fanboys out there, because the way he humanizes a subject and makes it very relatable to nearly anybody who watches this movie and is either a fanboy in real life who hasn't attended the con, or is a long time or starting to become a part-time attendee in particular. And he really strikes that chord in particular when he infuses both the enthusiasm of the event and also how much it has grown over the past couple years. Overall, Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope is an enthralling documentary which I wouldn't say is perfect by any means, but it is a hugely entertaining love letter to the fans out there, and it's definitely the movie that we all have been waiting for a while, and we highly deserve almost every minute of it, and that's why I'm going to give Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Comic-Con Episode 4, A Fan's Hope, and I'd like to know from you guys, who is your favorite figure in entertainment entertainment that is very loyal to his fans out there, especially ones who are nerds in particular. And also, do you ever plan on attending Comic-Con, or hey, are you coming this year? So in the meantime, talk from CaliCritic Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.